Hello, music fans. You're watching Death by Unicorn, where we talk about metal, rock, and prog music. And this is New Music Picks 2026. I'm going to talk about 4 new music releases that came out on July 24th, 2026, and give my quick first impressions of them. And I'll talk about them in my order of preference, starting with Willow and her album, The Thread. This is the 8th album by this American artist. It's progressive art rock with pop, indie, soul, R&B, alternative, and jazz influences. And I'm putting this one in my excellent tier. Willow is the daughter of Will Smith, and she's put out some great music. I prefer her music much more than her father's, of course. And I love her last 2 albums in a row. They're both excellent. And I expected this to continue her amazing streak, and I'm happy to hear that it does. Wonderful vocals, great musicianship from everyone involved, great unique compositions, great production. And this is the second album that she put out this year. And her first one from this year was also excellent, just like this one. And like with her earlier one from this year, which was called Petal Rock Black, I love the use of odd time signatures from time to time on this new album. I love the unusual, big, and soulful jazzy chords and chord progressions, and unusual but nice melodies throughout all the tracks. If that sounds good to you, check out The Thread by Willow. Next, I want to mention the band Jordsjø and their album, which might be difficult for me to pronounce, Pestkrønikene. Pestkrønikene? I don't know. Probably Norwegian because they're a Norwegian band, and this is their 9th album. This is symphonic progressive rock. It's got some jazz, got some folk, got some metal influences in there even. I wouldn't really call them a metal band, but they're kind of going more to that heavy rock sound on this than they did on their earlier work that I heard. And I'm putting this in my excellent tier as well. And like with Willow, I think their last 2 albums that I've heard are excellent. I haven't heard everything by Jordsjø, and maybe I do need to go back and give more of their back catalog a listen. But I've checked out their last 2 albums, and I love both of those. I love this one too, and this one sounds like a mix of symphonic prog rock bands like Yes and Wobbler, but if they teamed up with some harder rock and almost heavy metal, but still kind of progressive rock bands like Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, and Rush. This new album by Jordsjø isn't as jazzy as their 2023 album, but it still has some bits of jazz influence in there. Has great guitar playing, great drum fills, excellent tier album. And I think if they keep up this quality, they'll end up finding their way onto my ever-growing favorite band list with their next album, I'm sure. If that sounds good to you, check out this Pestkrønikene by Jordsjø. And for how to spell that, see the description of the video. And next, I want to talk about Avenged Sevenfold and their EP called Statica. This is an EP by this American band, and it's quite different from everything they've done before. It's experimental industrial rock. It's got some metal, punk, pop, and electronic dance music influences. And this is a band that I just love. But I think they just put out this album or this EP to just troll their fans at this point. It's a really interesting EP. The vocal effects here are off the charts with things like auto-tune, maybe vocoder, talk box, like those types of sounds. Not as sure all the effects that they use, but it kind of sounds like all this chaotic effects on the vocals all the time, like Daft Punk meets Kanye West meets Cynic. And they're doing this experimental industrial EDM sound, which they slightly dabbled in on Life is But a Dream, but was only part of the sound of that album, which was their last album, which I love. But they made the whole EP with that sound. At least it's only an 18-minute EP, so it doesn't have enough time to really grate on the ears. There's a lot of very cool drum parts here, though, a lot of good guitar riffs, though it barely sounds like guitar because it's so drenched in synthesized effects. I like the vocal melodies quite a bit, but the effect sound on the vocals is really over the top. It can be really grating on the ears after a while. However, I think they kind of went so over the top with it that it almost stops being annoying and starts being more interesting, entertaining, and kind of ballsy. For such a popular band to release an experimental EP like this, it's kind of respectable. They have the courage to just do whatever they want. So I'm going to put this in my very good tier because I'm interested, curious to like hear it a bit more, but I don't think I'll go back to it that much as I love all their other, well, not all their other albums, but I love most of their other albums a lot more than this. But yeah, I like that they have the courage to do whatever they want. I hope their next album won't sound all like this, but I'd be okay with it if they had like one song per album in the future that had this direction so they can kind of continue to explore this outlet for them. Maybe they could use more of M Shadow's real voice because I do prefer hearing his real voice than like having way too many effects on it like this. But if you want to hear Avenged Sevenfold troll their fans, check out Statica, the EP by Avenged Sevenfold. And lastly, I want to talk about North Sea Echoes and their album How to Cast a Shadow, the second album by this American band. They're kind of progressive art rock. They've got some alternative rock, some ambient, post rock, even a little bit of metal influence. Of course, this is a collaborative project from two Fates Warning members, Jim Matheos and Ray Alder. And I'm putting this one in my very good tier as well. I thought their first album, Really Good Terrible Things from 2024, was very good too, but it's not at all like Fates Warning, their other project, which I do like more than this one. It's more chill, it's atmospheric, it's song-based and ambient, still progressive, but not as metal or heavy as Fates Warning, not as adventurous or atypical as Fates Warning music. So I expected this new album would be solid, but not as exciting for me as the new Fates Warning album would be. And that's pretty much what I got. I think I like this album a bit more than their debut, but it's in the same ballpark. My favorite track is Enjoy the View, which has a really catchy chorus on it. And I also like moments on the album where they have some chunky, heavy guitar riffs. Most of the album is very accessible, very catchy, has these softer, more ambient sounds that occasionally bring in heavy guitar. But I think that helps make the heavy guitar moments stand out. And I think the vocals on this album are very well done here. Of course, very good tier album by North Sea Echoes. That's How to Cast a Shadow. Check it out if that sounds good to you. And that's it for my first impressions on these 4 new albums. Let me know what you think of these down in the comments, and let me know if anything else came out recently that you think I might enjoy. And if you like metal rock and prog music, you're in the right place. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you can stay in the loop on when I post new videos. For my next new music picks video in this series, I'll be talking about my first impressions from new music from Lalu, Future Palace, and Eric Gillette. Looking forward to all of those. So stay tuned for that, and peace out.